So here was my thought process last night. I just saw Fantastic Four, so I'm already at the theater. The next showtime for House on Eden is right now. It's not even 90 minutes long, so I should just walk over and see it. How much could I possibly suffer? I was an idiot last night. Thank you for joining me for my review for House on Eden, a movie I had never heard of until I just saw it on the AMC app, and it's a horror movie, so I got a ticket, because that's what I do. This is made by Kris Collins, also known as Call Me Kris. She's a TikToker and a YouTuber. I'm not familiar with her. Also, Celina Myers. She is also that, apparently. I don't know these people, so I have no bias in this one way or the other. I'm not a fan. I don't dislike them. I know nothing about them. Apparently they're very successful, good for them, not really the type of content that I usually watch. But Kris directed, wrote, and stars in this, and I do think it's cool to see people who do internet stuff kind of graduate to making feature films. I think that's interesting. I always root for that. Of course, you had the Filippo brothers make Talk to Me and bring her back earlier this year. Chris Duckman's movie comes out later this year. So I think it's cool when they actually kind of take that ambition to the next level. All that being said, this movie was terrible. Genuinely, congratulations on getting it made. Good luck in the future. Not everybody hits it out of the park on their first try. And if this was a YouTube video, I would say, oh, neat. There's nothing really special or original about it, but you did a thing, and that's cool. But if you are going to charge people money to see this, buying a ticket to House on Eden costs the same amount of money as buying a ticket to any other movie. And if that's the case, you need to give me something worthwhile that shows me why this should have been more than a long YouTube video. Show me that you can do something more than just imitate a million other horror movies that we've already seen, but less effectively. Because that's all this is. There's very little story here at all. These three people, Celina and Kris, playing, I assume, fictionalized versions of themselves, go to this abandoned haunted house, and hauntings occur the way you've seen them occur in 75,632,193 other films. I will say I think their performances are actually pretty good, and the production value is there. It's a found footage film, so it is made to look not the most professional in the world, but for the look it's going for, I think they pull it off. Like, clearly there was some effort and some passion behind getting this done. There are a few good-looking shots, and there's one moment in particular near the end that I actually found a little bit unsettling. It was the only moment, but you got one. It involved a character staring directly into the camera. That kind of thing is just sort of creepy. But for the most part, there's very little story here. There's very little to these characters. They're not interesting. Maybe if you are already a fan of them as influencers, you'll translate that into this movie. But if you're just judging them as characters in a film, there's really very little there. There aren't any meaningful arcs. Celina's character in particular, I found extremely obnoxious. The sense of humor here was just it did not work for me at all. Seemed like she was just trying to be annoying, and that's the humor. But no, that's just annoying. It takes a long time to really get going. It's like an hour and 17 minutes or something like that. It's short, but it takes a good chunk to even get to what could be considered the first scare. And beyond that, like I said, other than that one small moment that I experienced, there are no scares to speak of whatsoever. All of the imagery, all of the sound design, everything you've seen here is just things that you've seen done exactly the same in so many other movies, and it's not effective. There's no atmosphere built, there's no tension. You'll see a lady in a white dress standing in the corner. Characters will start speaking in Latin. They'll start saying the same phrase over and over, just like the same cliches and tropes that you see again and again, just repeated here. It made me feel like, what exactly did you make this for? Just to show that you knew what found footage horror movies were like? Clearly you do, because you kind of just copied them, but you didn't add anything at all. Genuinely, I'm not exaggerating when I say that it adds literally nothing of substance that is new. The setting isn't very interesting. This is like an abandoned house. They make that a point. She's like, I found this house. Nobody knows about it. They call up their friends who are like haunted house experts, and they're like, if anybody would know about it, they would, and even they don't know about it. So this place is legit secluded and haunted. It just looks like some normal ass house on the inside. It's like super clean and proper and not scary looking at all. I guess the ghosts have been cleaning it, I don't know, but there's no atmosphere there. It just looks like some house, and the characters, as soon as they walk in, they're like, oh, I feel some eerie shit here, and I'm like, am I supposed to feel that? It's just a house. And the one thing that I really learned about Kris from this movie is that she's apparently way into her own ass. There are a lot of close-up shots of her ass throughout the film, which, I mean, she directed it, so I guess good for you if you're just confident about it. It's fine. It's not a problem, but it's just interesting. I know more about her ass than I know about her as a person because of this film. There's not much to say about this other than it's kind of what you might expect it to be, and I don't like to be dismissive like that, like, oh, a movie made by TikTokers, because like I've said, there are people who create videos on the internet who can go on to do other things and do them very well. But this is unfortunately an example of that negative mindset, that thing that a lot of people will expect of just being something that is admittedly well made in certain ways, but is just aping so many other things that came before it that makes me wonder what the goal really was here. Story, characters, scares, setting, themes, something that I could latch onto to say, oh, this is what the point was. That was the passion. That's what she felt she needed to make a movie out of. And I just didn't get that at all from any of the elements here. I don't know if she just felt like she wanted to make a movie to show that she could. But again, if it costs money, you gotta give me something more. It's one of the worst movies I've seen this year just because of how boring it is. It is literally like 70-something minutes long, and it felt so long. It was dragging. Every time the footage would cut, I kept thinking, oh, that's the end, right? Like, that would be a really shitty end, but that's the end? I can leave? And then it never was. The footage just kept coming back in. I'm like, oh, fine. I'm not huge on found footage anyway, because a lot of the times it takes forever for something to happen, but in this movie, genuinely, barely anything happens. Maybe they'll do more in the future, maybe they'll improve, I don't know, I'm just some guy in my room talking about movies, but hey, my videos are free. And if I ever make a movie one day, you are well within your rights to criticize it. But as this movie is, I cannot recommend it to anyone. I don't think it's worthwhile whatsoever. But if you've seen House on Eden, if you've heard of it, you have any thoughts at all, agree or disagree, no matter what, I want to hear them down in the comments. We can talk about it down there. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel so you can see more from me. Leave a like on the video. I appreciate all the support, and I will see you next time.